You're not in control. Not really. Well, at least not fucking yet. And that's the point. So I got asked the question the other day. Why do I focus so much on habits? Why do I focus so much on every single day, on consistency, on never missing, on just showing up every single day, no matter what? Why is that the hill that I'm willing to die on? Why is that the area that matters more than anything else? Because without it, you are not in control. You're already not in control. We all have this thing that we're in control of our choices, our actions, of what we do. We're in control of what we're thinking about and what we decide to do. Bull fucking shit you are. Most people are, and myself included on a lot of things, are completely and utterly oblivious. They are just floating through life, seeing what happens, just turning up and seeing what the day brings, with no thought process, with no control, with no distinction of what's going to happen. Everybody thinks that they're making clear, definitive choices and they're deciding what they're going to do. No, you're fucking not. You are driven by your subconscious programming, by your habits, your rituals, and then what fucking is thrown at you. Most people will live between 95 and 99% of their life on complete autopilot. Why'd you drive home that way? Why'd you make that choice? Why did you make that phone call? Why did you use that sentence? Why did you do any of the myriad of things that have gone on today? Why did you roll out of bed the way you did? Why did you put your left shoe on versus your right shoe on first? Why did you make those decisions? You don't know. You just do. Because most people are completely oblivious of the choices that they make throughout the day. And most of that is for good reason. Most of that is by design. Because if you had to consciously think about every single choice you made, if you had to consciously think about breathing in and where you looked and how to drive a car and all these kinds of things, you'd be forever overwhelmed that you would never get anything done. But on the flip side, you need to start making better choices about the ones that do truly matter, about the things that are actually fucking important. Because those things make a difference. Like, I had a discussion just today with a woman about this, and she was asking about my phone. So my phone is set to grayscale, it's black and white. And she was like, does it make a difference in terms of your habits and your addiction to it? And I was like, first off, I was really impressed by her on this fact, because most people have no idea. They're like, why the fuck is your phone black and white? And I explained that the colors are what create a lot of the dopamine effect. It's why advertising and stuff, the saturation is higher. It's why things like Instagram's logo or Facebook's logo are really bright fucking colors. They pop kind of thing. Same with TikTok. All these kinds of things. We're attracted to contrast. We're attracted to these high, vibrant, high color things. So turning it onto grayscale reduces that a bit. Emphasis is on a bit. And I was honest with her and I was like, yes, it does, but only to a certain extent. It lowers the dopamine response a bit, but not completely. Doesn't, it's not like, oh, social media is now boring. It just slightly lowers the stimulation effect that it has on me. And to the point that occasionally I have to turn it back on to create my own content. And it's like, whoa, this is so fucking intense. Like, it's suddenly like, wow. But you don't ever notice that because, you're constantly in the mode that you're in. And this is the point of that. Most people don't know how oblivious they are to the world that they're in. Most people don't know how addicted they are to the process that they're currently in, because they have nothing to contrast it with. They have no reference point that they don't have any control. They have no reference point that they are just, existing, just floating through life, just being a passenger on the winds of life. They don't know because, well, they have nothing to compare it to. They have no other standing point to go, oh yeah, I should be like that. Oh yeah, I should do something different. This is life. This is how my life's always been. Exactly. And you need to fucking change it. You need to make a shift into this, into something different. Because otherwise you will continue to just be like, floating through. And we need to start being conscious of particular choices that we make. The ones that are going to matter. The ones that are leaving an impact. Or the ones that are causing us not to leave an impact. AKA sedation. Social media, TV, drugs, alcohol, porn, social media, video games, any of those things that sedate us from being present in our current life. We need to start being conscious about the decisions we make about that. But we lack control. We lack willpower. And especially when we are run down, especially when things get going, when we get pushed, you know. How frequently have you been fucking amazing on your nutrition or not going on social media or any of these kinds of things all day, and you get to the end of the day and you're like, whew, I am fucking knackered. So what do you reach for? Your willpower has now dropped. You've used up that finite resource of willpower and you're like, oh, now I want X. Now I want pizza. Now I want Y. Now I want to just sit and doom scroll. Now I just want to shut off because I'm fucking tired. And anything of value, as we discussed the other day, requires effort. Anything that's worth doing requires effort. Even down to sleep. Sleeping properly requires effort. So when you're exhausted, it's really hard to convince yourself to be like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go give a bit more effort. What would be so much easier is to reach for sedation, to reach for those things that are easy, that are simple, that are going to just mean that you can shut off completely. But those don't rejuvenate you. They don't uplift you. They don't restore you. It just allows you to just shut off from the world on them. And that's an issue. That's something that needs to be addressed, and that's something that needs to be overridden. And it's a choice that definitively needs to be made on that front so that you can make the right choices. And it's why I harp on perfection on it, that there is no days off, that there is no breaks, that there is no breaking from that commitment and building that habit, especially on the 126 for 126 days. And then when you do want to break, you make decisions about what you're going to utilize that for. And I was this fucking close to breaking on it just last night. And you know what saved me? My habits. That it was so ingrained in me. So last night I was tired. I have not been sleeping great the last couple of nights. It's just what happened. I'm just that little bit extra tired from sleeping with my son. He has been a bit more restless. He's got a blocked nose, those kinds of things. It's just been that little bit extra, and I was tired. And we had a really big, active weekend, and the kids were a bit more full on than normal. It's still an amazing part of it, but they were. It was a bit more extra tiring to run my life. So I got to Sunday night and I was like, whew, you know what would go down a fucking treat? Pizza. Pizza and wine with my beautiful wife. Sitting down with a extra large double pepperoni with garlic aioli, beautiful bottle of wine and a tub of Ben & Jerry's strawberry cheesecake. Mwah. That sounded fucking excellent. You know what happened instead? I hadn't done my workout, so I went and worked out. Needed to refuel with protein after that. So I had some steak and some sweet potato chips. After that, that feeling dissipated. I didn't feel like doing any of those things, but my habits and my rituals and my conditioning kicked in. And that's what took place. Those things of like, these are non-negotiables. This is who I am. This is what gets done for 230 plus days. That's what's fucking happened. So those habits and rituals just kicked in, and I was like, oh, okay. And by the time they'd kicked in and I'd done that, that moment of weakness had passed. That moment of craving that sedation had passed. Still had a lovely dinner with my wife. I spent some lovely time with her. We had some downtime from the kids. But that need to give in passed. And that's what I mean. There was that moment where I'd lost control. I was flying on autopilot. I was seeking something to make me feel better. Something to turn off so that I could just give in to that moment. But my habits, my rituals overrode that. And that's why I talk about perfect, consistent effort. It's why I talk about no days off. It's why I talk about just showing up every fucking day. Because those things matter. Those days matter. And they will override those weaknesses because you will still have it. You will still have resistance wanting to rear its fucking ugly head. That dragon will come out to smite you, and it knows every weakness you have. It knows every button to push, that it's going to push you to your absolute limit. And you have to say, fuck no. You have to have that built in and ingrained in you so that when you do reach your weak points, other things will kick in and prevent you from slipping up, from slipping back into that man you used to be. Because let's be realistic here. Even someone like me, I was that man a hell of a lot longer than I have been this man. I have been that version of myself for a hell of a lot longer than I have been this version. And that's the problem. That version is more natural, more inclined. It's an easier version of you. You've spent more of your life being that person. So you have to really, really focus on ingraining your habits and rituals. Really focus on driving them into being the man that you want to be. Doing the work so you can override those weaknesses. And the other one I would always say is, do not make a decision that is going to affect your future in a moment of weakness. Do not make permanent decisions in a moment of weakness. And yes, having a pizza is not a permanent decision, but it means that in my mind, in chasing greatness, I will have fucked up 230 days of that. That ain't worth it. That ain't worth it at all. And you need to recognize those moments of weaknesses, those things that are gonna cost you in those moments. Recognizing those, that it's not worth that small, fleeting moment of pleasure and joy to give up everything else that comes with it. It ain't fucking worth it. So don't risk it. When you have those moments, and we've spoken about it before, you just want to delay. When you have those moments of like, fuck, I really want to eat the pizza. I really want to sedate. I really want the glass of wine, or to buy that thing, or whatever it may be. Ask yourself, how badly do you want it? And then delay that moment. Delay it as long as you can. All right, well, I'll make this decision tomorrow. If I still really want that pizza tomorrow, I'll have it tomorrow. Okay, cool. If I still want that pizza the next day, I'll delay it till the next day. And you just keep going. See how long you can kick it down the line. Because the further you can kick it down the line, the more you're going to realize that that wasn't a true want and desire. That wasn't something that you actually really needed and wanted in your life. That was your resistance and weakness kicking in. That was you kicking back to something that doesn't fucking serve you. So don't let it get you. Don't let it sneak up on you. Don't let that moment of weakness catch you out. Be cognizant, be aware, be conscious of the choices that you're making. Don't live on autopilot, because autopilot has got you to where you are. And if you aren't fucking happy with where you are, if your life isn't the most incredible thing under the sun and you are loving every single moment of it, then maybe it's time to make a different choice. Maybe it's time to make some changes, to make some conscious changes, to choose something that is better than the moment that you're currently in, to make choices that will serve you better than what you're currently choosing. This is the difference. This is the gap. because you can have the life of your dreams. You can have everything you want. And it starts with being aware of the choices you're making, being aware of what's going on in your head, not just flowing through life. Take back control. Your reality is a direct reflection of your choices, your habits, and your thoughts. So start being fucking aware of it. Be aware of the habits you have. Be aware of the choices you are making. Be aware of the actions that you are taking. Be aware of the thoughts that go on. Because I guarantee you, most of the fucking thoughts in your head are garbage. Most of them are absolute fucking rubbish. And they've just been so ingrained in you for such a long period of time that you don't even notice the negative talk, the shit that's going on, the things that are not serving you. So take back control. Take back what you know is going to serve you and your highest good. Be cognizant of it and start making better choices. Because the second you start making better choices and you stop making the choices out of weakness, out of lack of willpower, out of those things, and you start ingraining those good habits into the man that you know you want to be, that you should be, that you deserve to be, life will start to improve. All of it. All of it is at your fingertips. It just comes down to making that first decision and then being cognizant of the flow-on effect of those thoughts and habits that will come up against it. Because there will be resistance. You will fight against this like you have no idea. Your subconscious programming will hold on with a death fucking grip to try and prevent you from removing those habits, from killing that old version of you, because you cannot step into a new chapter of life while you continue to reread the old one. So it's time to step the fuck up, to step into being the man that you know you should be, to become the best version of yourself. So if you're ready to do that, if you're ready to commit to those habits, those rituals, and those procedures that are going to serve you the best, please shoot me a message. Let's get you into chasing greatness. Let's make it a fucking reality. If you're not quite there, click the link in my bio, grab my top 10 tools to transform your mental toughness. And lastly, if this served you, if this helped you, if it inspired you, if it spoke to you, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Help me get this out into the world. I am talking to myself as much as I am talking to you. I'm on this journey with you. I'm just that little bit further down the road. And I'm here every single day sharing these lessons as I go forth. So I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back again tomorrow. Until then.